Chiwenga opa warning kuna wiki Chivhayo yashamisa mhuri Zimbabwe. Tiri kuti makadi mhuri Zimbabwe kusangana zvekare pano pa TV yenyu patinenge tichikupai nyaya dzinenge dzichiitika munyika yeZimbabwe. Nezuro ku Highfields Roman Catholic Church kwange kune campaign ye anti-drugs and substance abuse uko kwake kuchitaura mutevedzeri wemutungamiriri weZANU-PF vanova Constantino Chiwenga vakange vachitaura mashoko makuru panyaya dzemadrugs, asi warning yavakapa Chivhayo vakataura pajekerere vachitaura semuenzaniso vachiti vanhu vari kuputa madrugs, vamwe vari kukonzera confusion vachiti tokupa mota tozodii, but warning iyoyo yakaita kuti ruzhinji rugutsikane rushevedzere kuti aiwa vaChiwenga kana kuti mukanya soko mukanya dzokororai ipapo mashoko amataura. Mhuri yeZimbabwe zvina zvina kumira zvakanaka, mukanya vari kuonera zvese zviri kuitika, hapana chavasiri kuona. Vakapa muenzaniso iwowo sezvinhu zvakashata pazvinhu zviri kuitika munyika yeZimbabwe, zvevanhu vari kutsigira vanhu nekuvapa mota vachivatsigira pazvinhu zvisina basa. Mhuri yeZimbabwe tina comrade zvekare vatinawo panapa, asi tiri kukuudzana vatsva kuti garai masubscribe motoina on notification bell. Tina comrade vatinawo panapa, comrade Saruwaka, vane mashoko makuru avarada kuti vange vachizivisana nemi. Tiri kutendai nekuteerera kwenyu kwamunoita panapa. Ndoda kukusiyai muchinzwa comrade Saruwaka muzvitodzowo zvamunofunga panyaya yepano.
Let's be careful about the elements or the efforts by the enemies of the people, literally known as Zvigananda. They are on a massive mission to divide the people. So we need to be very careful on that. We must all understand that all along, this system was surviving by divide and rule. So as the people of Zimbabwe, let's not accept to be divided anymore, especially during this moment in time when the revolution has been already announced. Zviri kuitwa nemacommanders zvekubatanidza vanhu zvakakosha izvozvo. Let's be careful, open an eye and watch Zviganandas trying to push what do we call it, tribal divisions, gender-based divisions, provincial divisions, political party divisions. Izvozvo tinoti pasi nazvo. We understand where we are coming from, and we understand where we are leading the people to. So they are feeling the heat, and they know the roadmap to save the people of Zimbabwe. And vari kuzviona kuti pachamhanyiwa zviri legendary. Ndo saka muri kuona mapoliticians akaita sana Garwe waakuita kunga vaane mental issues. They know the truth. Anombobuda otaura zva2030, obuda otaura zvevanhu vari kuundura huko, obuda achitaura newe. Itsuro tamba muswe takabata. Pamune muchiona macommanders mamwe asingabudikire havana kuzorora. The spirit of the revolution ndo yaa in charge. Ndo yaa kuita basa. So patinotaura about this revolution, we need to listen very carefully and try to read between the lines. The revolution must be defended because a revolution is open to attacks. Zvigananda hazvisi zvirema. Zvigananda imbavha. Zvigananda, those are the enemies of the people. The Zvigananda, those are economic saboteurs. So you need to understand when we are talking about Zvigananda, who exactly they are. Ndo zvinenge zvichipisa kunana Glenview because zviri kunoda kusurvive nematenda. There is a plan yavanenge vachida kuita ipapo and take away the benefits from the people. Zvigananda, they are up for state capture. They need to control everything. So what they are doing, varikutanga vapisa, where people are controlling the activities. Wapisa wouya as if they want to assist. When they want to assist, varikuisa ma services, they put exorbitant fees to access those services. Their looting agenda inenge yava successful. We are far away from an election, but we respect all political parties and political players. That's why we don't talk about them. We leave their space. Here we are talking about the revolutionaries because we are pushing a revolutionary agenda. Comrades, there is need of clarity, Pano. The revolution we all support has different stakeholders. A revolution is not a democratic process. It is an uprising. We see members of democratic parties in our inboxes questioning our ways of doing things. We don't have an agenda of winning voters. We need to win fighters in the name of the ground force because we are leading a revolution, not a political organization. That is why we mention names of military people or people with military background, because we understand the work at hand. Izvi tinozviitira to protect all democratic players who are preparing for 2028 and 2033 elections. The democratic political parties, they are preparing for 2028 election according to the constitution, and the next will be 2028 election. But we have noticed that there are economic saboteurs and there is an agenda of state capture being spearheaded by Zviganandas. Saka Zvigananda cannot be fought by political parties. Those are criminals. Criminals can only be chased away through a revolution, not through an election. An election is an administrative platform. Yatinenge tichielecta vanogona basa, vanogona kumirira zvido zvevanhu kuti varowe basa. But that platform is created by a revolution because in Zimbabwe we already have criminals who are now enemies of the people and enemies of the state. That was the message from Comrade Geza. Saka ngatipabate ipapo. Tiri kuda kuti tirambe tiine unit between those who are pushing a revolution agenda and those who are pushing a democratic agenda. So when a country is attacked by criminals, those problems are better to be solved today. We cannot wait for an election date. But that's against the democratic processes. Ndosaka muri kuona tiri kurespecta the democratic space. The democratic space must push the message of registering to vote. Election reforms. Those no facilitator the democratic space. The revolutionary space which we occupy, we are pushing the organization of the ground force and the ability to fight Zviganandas. Here we talk about fighting. Because these enemies of the people are criminals. In a democracy, we talk about MPs, we talk about presidents and whatever. Here we talk about commanders and the ground force. That is the reason why we are appealing to everyone to rally behind General Chiwenga. Not him as a ZANU-PF leader, but as a military commander. Because munyika matopinda criminals atiri kuziva ese, those criminals cannot be chased away by an election process. We all voted in 2023. Tikaisa MPs ekuti protected the people. But we noticed that one way or the other, all those MPs were chased away from parliament. Awamo izvezvi. Kunze kwavashoma avo wari captured by zviganandas. Tikuda kuti tipabate ipapo. So we noticed. Akawina my elections haasiri akadeclare the winner. Why? Because there is a state capture, the system iri kuranwa nemacriminals. Zvinhu zviri kuitwa hazvisi kuitwa as per constitution. Saka yangu yekuti timbopinda musango. This is the fourth chimurenga, the war against the criminal elements around the leadership system yemuZimbabwe. The first thing which was done by Commander Geza was to stop the potential abuse of the constitution through the 23rd agenda. Because they influenced the parliament, wakaisa zvigananda zvavo imomo, and chased away vanhu vasarudzwa nevanhu. So they were going to sail through in amending the constitution. Those people in parliament, vamwe vacho, they are no longer representing the people's agenda. That's why this revolution came into place, because the democratic processes are no longer serving the purpose. They were infiltrated and attacked by the criminals. So the 23rd agenda was stopped by a revolution through Commander Geza. Avo angotaurawo eamipengo iyi madhimoni ndosaka tichipota tichirelease the spirit of the revolution. The address by Comrade Geza to General Chiwenga was to inform the presidium of the criminal elements who are looting the country. But that was done with respect, because the first point of approach was on Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa was told to investigate mbavha dzakaita sana Chivhayo. And that was captured in a video in an interview. But his stance was to protect Zvigananda. President Onai, there is someone who is doing zvinhu zvisirunzwisika munyika anonzi Chivhayo. Tokumbirawo kuti muongorore muone kuti zvaari kuita zvakanaka here, kana zvakanaka thumbs up, kana zvisina kunaka pogadziriswa, so that we protect our people. Zvanzayo, how can I be involved kana munhu ari kuita a philanthropy job? That was Mnangagwa's response. Which means that he is no longer a trusted point of authority. What was wrong doing an investigation? We are training police officers, CID, the CIO, each and every day. Vakagara mumaoffices. They need to do the work because they are being paid by public funds. Why can't you just allow them to investigate kuti zviri kuitwa naChivhayo zvakachena here? That's why the command changed the point of approach and approached the vice president Chiwenga. Saka mukanzwa tichitaura nezvaChiwenga, tiri kutaura nezvinhu zviri kuteedza the processes nemazvo. Because pana number one pari kuprotectwa Zvigananda. Saka it's no longer a trusted office. So when the message went to Chiwenga, Comrade Geza brought feedback and he said Chiwenga ari kutaura kuti message irakasvika. Wanayo, he acknowledged the message. Ndo saka akazopa maspeech ekuti the day of reckoning is coming closer. Handisi hangu kuti zvinoti chi, but vanonzwa chirungu ndakanzwa vachifara vachiti zviri kuenderana nemessage yedu yerevolution. Saka neni ndakajoina ndikafarawo. Which means the people's message is getting to the correct point. Ndo saka tiri kuti everyone ngatisapote mudhara Chiwenga iye to save this revolution agenda. Ndiye munhu achafacilitator kumhanyisa kwatichaita mbavha. That's why we are organizing. Hatiiti chinhu chisiri kuzikanwa from bottom to top. Saka this revolution agenda yakuzikanwa kwese yatekeshera jikerere. It's now time to organize. That's why we are now putting in place vehicles for the revolution. Ndo kwamunenge muchiwana command, ndo kwamunenge muchiwana support, ndo kwamunenge muchiwana assistance when the time to fight comes. Ndo saka munhu wese ari kutaura nyaya yekuti pakamirirwa signal. Hatipengi kana tiri kugadzira revolution is. Inhau yekuti there must be point of support. Wakomana taremerwa apa, then we support you. Because ndisu tinoziva the PowerPoints. Kana muri mega, you are vulnerable. Saka munhu wese ngaapinde muchino tione kufambirana. Since we are years away from the election, a revolution was declared. That's why we are here. Ndo saka tisingataure message register to vote. Message register to vote anopushwa nema-political parties. We respect all political players because after removing these enemies of the people, Ugandans, all political parties, churches, civic organizations, traditional leaders must come together and put in place a governing vehicle with an agenda of saving the Zimbabwean economy. Onzwa mungoti aiwa Sarwaka, why are you saying kuti mtaako operate as Zimbabwe economic revolution? Ngati ngofambe ine revolution chete. You need to understand that the idea of this revolution is to save the Zimbabwean economy, which from the state capture yamo through Uganda. Even the message from Comrade Geza is very clear. The way we are fighting Uganda is because we need to protect the economy. Zurikuitwa nemaChina vari kuluta nyika hapana ari kufara nazo. All proceeds are not going to our people. Ndunzwike here. So, my political parties ndodaira kuti ndajekesa ipapo kuti we are working together, we are supporting each other. Isisu kuno pari zvino. Please allow munhu wese ambouya kurevolution to support our revolution commanders. Support us so that we support you. We need that unit of purpose. Nenhau yekuti patakamira hapana kumira zvakanaka. Let's avoid any form of division iri kuiswa nezvigananda. They know kuti their days are numbered. We are noticing people being attacked every day. Some arrested. Warrant of arrest being fabricated and manufactured against the commanders of the revolution. Izvozvo tinoti pasi nazvo. What I need to assure you, ndezvekuti ma-commanders haana kupaka. Ndochitarisa hangu mamwe ma-discussions anenge achiita muWhatsApp. Don't undermine the revolution agenda. My commanders, they are doing the work. Hapana revolution inoitwa pasina macommanders. Saka mukaona vakanyarara, basa riri kufamba nemazvo. Isisi tiripo pakuita make sure kuti vhangeri riri kufamba, riri kusvika kunzvimbo dzese. Whenever deliverance is needed, then we release the spirit of the revolution so that ifambe. Uku kumusoro uku basa richifamba. People of Zimbabwe, pachamhanyiwa zviri legendary pano. And mazuva acho aakusvika. Ndosaka muri kuona this revolution, we don't even talk of 2028. We need to save our economy now. Saka musasumuke, Jesu anouya. Tengai mafuta, join the ground force, nekuti chikomba chinouya. Be part of washanu wakangwara. Paridzai vhangeri revolution. Zvinhu zvese zvifambe zvakanaka. To those who are accepting the ground force jobs, pamberi nemi. Regai timbomira pano. Unite everyone in the name of the people. We thank you.